Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect, the respect that we deserve.
What is up, people? The internet, it is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video, and it is finally time. I talked about the huge announcement that happened, I think like 2 weeks ago at this point. U.S. Senator Jim Inhofe announces retirement after 35 years in Congress. Now, this is something I've been waiting to do a video on. I've been waiting for some candidates to announce, but we finally have some real candidates to talk about, and it is time we finally talk about the state of Oklahoma. This may be the first time I have ever talked about Oklahoma. The closest state is like Texas. Oklahoma is one of those states that I usually don't like to talk about. There's really nothing interesting about the state. Well, politically, the state is a very nice state to visit. I'm just saying, politically speaking, nothing really interesting ever happens in Oklahoma. But this time, this is a special election, and there are some good candidates running. Now, before I forget, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, let's try to hit 300 likes on this video. That'd be greatly appreciated, and yes. And reminder, our goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers before May 1st. If we do that, the merch store will come on May 1st. So again, smash that subscribe button, share with your friends, your family, the random guy down the street, tell them to subscribe, and yeah. So let's get into the video. No more promotions. So Inhofe has announced he is retiring after 35 years in Congress, and this is kind of a weird situation where he's an old guy, but he's actually kind of based on the issues. Now, he's not, the best Republican on the issues, but Numbers USA, one of the better, platforms to look at how people vote on immigration and all that stuff. Inhofe actually has a fairly good voting record on the issue of immigration. His career overall was an A. And you look at this, he has an A+ on stuff like reduce unnecessary worker visas, reduce amnesty stuff, reduce anchor baby citizenship, all that stuff. So I do applaud him that he does overall have a good voting record. Not the best in the world, but still fairly good. Considering, most Republicans, in their career in the Senate has like a best, like a C. It is a good career. I hope he enjoys retirement, but my only issue with this is why didn't you just retire last year or 2 years ago? I mean, you did have to run for re-election. There's no point of it. But he did retire, so that is what it is. And honestly, this may be a good situation as we do actually have, for the first time, quite frankly, in any main Senate race, all the candidates that have announced and will announce are actually based on the issues. But let's talk about the 3 candidates that have for sure announced. There is one more that will announce. I know this for a fact. I do have sources. So the 3 that mainly have announced right now is Nathan Dahm, the state senator for the 33rd district, Luke Holland, the chief of staff of Senator Jim Inhofe, so former senator, and Mark Wayne Mullen, the representative from the 2nd district. These are the 3 main candidates as of now. And there will be one more main candidate that I know for a fact is announcing his candidacy, Kevin Hern from Oklahoma's 1st district. And I gotta say one thing, this is a shocker, but all 4 of the candidates, they're actually good. Some are better than the others, but all 4 of them, none of them are like dog shit like the Ohio, Senate primary where it's like one good candidate, the rest are just mediocre at best. But this is a good time for us to actually have a real primary with real conservative Republicans. And all 4 of these guys actually have either a good voting record or actually a good platform. Now, Luke Holland is the one Republican that I know the least about. You look at his Senate page and, well, it's one of those things where he actually says some base stuff about like how we need to bring back Christianity in this country. But at the same time, it's like he talks about communism and socialism a bit too much. I mean, it's just like, why? Like, yeah, I'm glad you talk about, no more bad trade deals, but then you talk about stuff like fighting socialists in Washington. Again, I'm not denying there's a couple socialists in Washington, but to make them sound like they're the main threat of America's like, no, there's like two of them in Washington that are like semi-socialist, like, unironically socialist. The rest are just neoliberals and globalists. So that's my issue with the people that run on like, stop the communists, stop the socialists. Like, they're not a threat. It's the globalists, it's the neoliberals, not socialists. They're pretty much extinct. And Luke Holland does appear to be the front runner as of now. He does have some of the main endorsements from the state. Most notably, Jim Inhofe, the former senator. So, with that out of the way, who are the other three candidates? Well, the first one I want to talk about is Nathan Dahm. And once again, he says some base stuff in here. And I do know his voting record. He's one more conservative, senators in Oklahoma. But then he talks about, again, the fight socialism crap. Like, Nathan has seen the effects that communism and socialism could have on our country. It's like, stop. Just stop with this garbage. Yes, cultural communism or Marxism, whatever you want to call it, is awful. It is hurting America. But just saying communism and socialism, it's like, no. That just turns off people. Just talk about, like, cultural socialism, or I should say Marxism, sure, but just saying, socialism, it's kind of cringe. It doesn't do much. But again, he actually has a decent voting record in the Oklahoma Senate. And he, again, is not a bad Republican. He's actually good on some of the issues. Just like most Republicans now, they just talk a little too much about socialism. It's like, stop it, please. It is annoying. But then you have two congressmen that have entered the race. Well, one of them has officially. Markwayne Mullin and Kevin Hern. Once again, these two guys are somehow solid Republicans. I don't know how this is possible. But all four of these guys are actually solid. Now, for Kevin Hern, he is the better Republican. He's going to run, I know that for a fact. His issues page is by far probably the strongest of any Republican. I mean, I don't see anything about socialism or anywhere here. I really don't. And he actually talks about key issues, support term limits, a balanced budget, support our veterans, religious liberty, protect freedom of speech, secure the border, etc. Not like, bomb the Chinese, we need to stop radical socialism. None of that, just actual issues that matter to people, like drain the swamp. This is probably the strongest platform. And Kevin Hern, in his couple years in Congress, has been one of the best voting Republicans on immigration. I mean, look at this. Nearly on every single issue, he has an A+ grade outside of a single frickin' thing. But you look at this, I mean, he wants to reduce chain migration, reduce the visa lottery, reduce unnecessary worker visas. This is good stuff. I mean, the fact that we have an actual Republican in Congress that has a very good voting record running for the Senate, that is a good sign. He's not, like, bad on immigration. No, he's actually good on it. Like, he actually wants to reduce all immigration, not just illegal. And I don't even think he mentions immigration here. Well, he does. He doesn't mention illegal immigration, just, hey, immigration is garbage. I do like Kevin Hern, and he's going to announce. I know that for a fact. But the other Republican, not bad either. You have Markwayne Mullin. That's his name. And you look at his issues page, and once again, actually decent. Pro-life, that's obvious. If you're pro-choice and a Republican, just go away. Just leave and never come back. But traditional values. I am glad he said our nation was founded on conservative principles that are enduring. This is what I like to see. None of this crap of Judeo-Christianity. He doesn't say that here. This is like, we are conservative principles and we are Christians. That's what our nation was built on. I like Republicans that run on this stuff. On immigration, that's actually good. I don't see the word just illegal. Just, hey, our immigration system is garbage. It's complete garbage that makes people want to come here and live off the government. And this is good stuff. And just like Let's see, Kevin Hearn, he does have a good record. Again, some things in the past, he definitely had a weaker voting record, but still, you look at some of the things he voted on, it's actually pretty based what he has voted on for immigration. I mean, his career voting record is an A-, and there was some early parts of his career that he did not necessarily have the best voting record, but that was one issue, and I can live with it. Other than that, though, beautiful, absolutely beautiful voting record on the issues. Now, the question is this, though. Who do I think is going to win this race? And who would I want to win? Now, all I know is this. Whoever wins this race is going to become the next senator. I mean, we all know how Republican the state is, but they have no serious candidates for the Democrats. Not a serious challenger. I mean, they may have one former governor candidate run, but you really think that clown is going to win? Give me a break. Whoever is the nominee for the Republican is the next senator of Oklahoma. This is essentially the general election. And all four of them have their strengths. Some of them, of course, like Luke Holland and Nathan Dahm, they just say socialism and communism a bit too much. But still, they're good. They talk about Christian values, Christianity, conservative principles, like actual conservatism, not just tax cuts. And that's good stuff. But I do prefer Mullen or Kevin Hearn. But Kevin Hearn may be the best Republican that's going to come out of this. And again, for the first time, they're all good options. So if Trump endorses Luke Holland, I don't have an issue with that. That's a good candidate. He endorses Nathan Dahm. Sure, he says socialism a bit too much, but still a good candidate. I would prefer Mullen or Hearn, but it's not the end of the world. But I do think Trump is going to endorse most likely Mullen or Hearn. He has a history of endorsing, congressional candidates for Senate races. He has a history of doing that. So I do think he will endorse one of those two. Preferably Hearn, but Mullen is still a great option. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this quickish video on the Oklahoma special election. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.